You're watching Gimme 5.
Black College Live.
The Black College Live.
Yeah. This is a Gimme 5 show with J. Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it. Right now,
I'm all excited. You see that?
wait until they see the strength and hear the win. This Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it.
This is what it's all about.
Overtime on it. Lights out.
I'm gonna put him in the front runner seat to be the Black College Player of the Year.
This ain't for fun. I've been going done. They be still trying
Oh yeah, Howard Homecoming 2021.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Go ahead, start it off right. Can I get a HU?
You know.
All right, there you go. Showtime marching band. Jay Walker is back home. Tiffany Greene here with you from the Mecca.
Baby.
Oh yeah.
Return to Mecca. It is Howard University homecoming. It's what we do. And don't get it twisted. By far, it is the #1 homecoming on the planet. On the planet. You can call it G or whatever you want to. G no. HU homecoming, we set the bar.
Okay, FAMU homecoming's next week. Anyway, ladies and
there you
gentlemen,
go.
we got to show love to Howard. We are here on the hilltop. And Jay, look, you always like to bring some flavor, some sauce, and we start this thing off right. By what?
Give me 5.
Give me 5.
And it was tough, so I said, you know what? This is the first time ever I couldn't make up my mind on give me 5. So the 5 greatest HBCU tight ends. I got a tie at number 5. Vashenko Shenko, who played for the New York Giants, went to Morgan State University. Got to put him on the list. I'm a Bison. We got to put Jimmy Johnson on the list. Howard University legend Jimmy Johnson is on that list at number 4. At number 4, Jimmy Giles. Jimmy Giles, Alcorn State, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the greats. Doug Williams, #1 target there. Number 3, guy by the name of Raymond Chester. Raymond Chester played at Morgan State University, NFL all-time great. And now I'm going to hit you with the star power. Number 2, one of my old teammates with the New England Patriots is Ben Coates. Ben Coates should not only be in the Professional Football Hall of Fame, he's already in the New England Patriots Ring of Honor. I want to see him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame because before Gronkowski, it was Ben Coates. And number 1, you can figure out number 1. Greatest HBCU tight end of all time. Let's go down to Savannah State. Shannon Sharp from Savannah State University, one of the all-time greats. A couple guys I'll put on the bubble. My homeboy, I played with him. Poncho Glover played at Grambling State University. That's my gimme 5. You got 2 cents for me?
Yeah, I got a little 2 cents. You know I got to show some love to FAMU. So Chad fan. Yeah, you know I'm always going to come with it. But
Chad
also,
went up here.
don't bring up old stuff. And Rich Castor from Jackson State, you know, he won a Super Bowl championship with the Washington football team back in 1985, Doug Williams and company.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got my 2 cents in there. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the MEAC standings because why it's pretty important given the fact that Howard is doing an outstanding job. Football is back under Larry Scott, and they are tied for first in the MEAC.
Can we pause there and just freeze the rest of the season right there? The Bison are on top of the MEAC right now. Let's hope it continues. They got a big game today. South Carolina State, Buddy Pugh. You never know what you're going to get. Norfolk State, though. Norfolk State, really good football team coming here. They're my number 3 ranked team in my HBCU power ranking. It would be something if the Bison can pull off an upset here today. But the MEAC race is shaping up. Morgan State, Tyrone Wheatley continuing to struggle. They can't get it going right. And North Carolina Central, you don't know what to expect. Some weeks you get it good. Other weeks you get it bad.
It's homecoming down in Durham as they face off against Delaware State. Now we switch to the SWAC. In the SWAC East, we've seen 2 teams really kind of run away with things. And you first got to talk about Jackson State and the crowd they had inside the vet last weekend. It was a record crowd.
We could talk about Jackson State all day. You know, the Fighting Prime Times are getting it done. Impressive victory. 55,000 people for a homecoming game down in Jackson, Mississippi. Outside of Howard University, that may be the best homecoming you could find this year. But give credit to what they're doing there at Florida A&M. The defense has been the key. I mean, Willie Simmons' team defensively stepped up, brought them back where they could pull off a come-from-behind victory at Alabama A&M. And Alabama A&M, the wheels seem to be falling off right now for Coach Connor Almeida. But congratulations to the Rattlers. Impressive victory.
Talking about another team within the SWAC West, a very important matchup for Prairie View A&M. They are leading the West right now. Eric Dooley has this group playing terrific. Juwan Paz, he is the quarterback leading the way for the Panthers.
Yeah, the transfer from Louisville has actually been an impact player there, making a difference there on the campus there. Prairie View A&M may have the most solid resume outside of Jackson State. this football season. And the reason why they can do it, Eric Dooley always had this team based on offense. You knew they could score, and they could score at anybody. But now they've got the ability to play defense. They're a more balanced football team. I like what I'm seeing. This is a ball club that could be dangerous and make it to the SWAC championship.
Well, you're talking about a team that's been to the SWAC championship a number of years with their former head coach Dawson Odoms. So Prairie View, A&M, and Southern are in action today. That's one of our key matchups that we're looking forward to this weekend. And the Panthers are on a 4-game winning streak. So again, we keep talking about Prairie View, A&M, and what they've been able to do. Not only that, their first meeting, you go back to just how well the Jaguars played, but it's a different story here in 2021.
Yeah, the one thing that Prairie View's had trouble doing is beating Grambling, beating Southern in the same year. And so now they've already taken care of Grambling. Can they beat Southern? And now you got to add Alcorn State to the equation because they play Alcorn now, who's a member of the West. So now those are 3 games they have to win, and it starts with Southern right now. Southern needs to get this victory. Prairie View needs to keep playing Prairie View football, and they'll be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, we keep talking football. Bethune-Cookman also at Jackson State. We move to – wait a minute. That's scary because the winless Wildcats are a very, very tough team.
Yeah, if you take Bethune-Cookman for their record, then you got an opportunity to get upset. I mean, they are that good. Even though they're winless on the season, Jackson State, Deion Sanders not coaching this week, and now all of a sudden you got that little feel that you lose a little bit. That's a trap game. Not saying Jackson State's going to lose, but we'll see what their interim head coach, you know who interim head coach is?
Gary Harrell.
Gary the Flea Harrell. Gary the Flea will be the interim head coach, not wishing anything bad on him, but that could be a trap game.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the Star Watch power that we had last weekend. Kobe Dillon, he did it on the ground. This dude was balling for sure. He picked up 267 yards on the ground, set a record, 14 carries, 3 touchdowns, and he did his thing for the Southern Jaguars. Again, we mentioned he'll be in action later today. As we head back to something on a more somber note, earlier this week, we lost a great American in Colin Powell, and he was the first of many to do a number of different things. As the first Black Secretary of State, he served with the George W. Bush administration and Herbert Washington as well. He did just a phenomenal job serving our country.
He was on the Board of Trustees here at Howard University. Thank you for your service, General Powell. Black College Live is brought to you in part by the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
You fired up the grill for one hot dog? Seriously?
Hot dogs, better with Pepsi.
Behold has a special meaning at Norfolk State University. It exemplifies knowledge, hard work, perseverance, and striving towards success. Since 1935, Spartans have walked these grounds, ready to take on the challenges of the times, transform lives, and realize dreams. We are a state-of-the-art institution, preparing students to take on the modern world with innovative coursework, experiential learning, and cutting-edge degrees. As NSU celebrates its 85th year, the green and gold tradition continues.
Norfolk State making the trek here to the nation's capital. 11,000 strong back in Norfolk, Virginia, established in 1935. Some of the notable alumni that walked the campus: J.B. Smoove, the comedian; Steve Riddick, an Olympic medalist; Tim Reed, the actor; and Bob Dandridge, a great basketball player as well. We are back here outside of Greene Stadium, joined by the head coach of Norfolk State in his first season with the Spartans, and that is head coach Dawson Odoms. Coach Odoms, thank you so much for joining us. We are glad that you are here with us. You have your Spartans playing some excellent football right now, come in on a 4-game winning streak. What's the mood like around Norfolk?
Well, I think everybody's excited about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And just the real thing is just buying into our process. I think our guys have done a great job of that, and the assistant coaches, everybody being on the same page.
All right, now, so you look like new money coming in here. Because I'm going to tell you, when I saw you at Southern, you look nice. But these threads here, they got you feeling a little different down there in Norfolk.
Well, they told me I was going to be on TV today. So, I like to dress for the occasion. I always tell our players, every time you go in front of the camera, it's an interview. So hopefully, I represent our program and our institution very well today.
I'll tell you some guys who have represented your program very well: Deshaun Dixon, Jawan Carter. They've done an amazing job. When you're looking at the team that you're putting on the field today, coming into enemy territory, what's it going to take to get at that W?
Well, I think we just got to play Spartan football. It's going to come down to penalties, turnovers, and effort. And I think if we can play up to our expectation, everything should be okay for us today.
All right, so the last question I have of you is, what's your assessment of Howard Homecoming?
Well, we just pulled up, so I think it's the cornerstone. I think when you think about HBCUs, you think about Howard University and all that it has meant to other universities by opening doors and creating new opportunities. I think that's what HBCUs is all about. But when you talk about the great Howard University, there's nobody else like it and nobody else does it like Howard. So we understood that growing up as people in the community, that this is something you look up to, because a lot of what we're doing today started right here at Howard University.
We see the future in you. That's the motto of Norfolk State, and they certainly see a future in their head coach, Dawson Odoms. Go ahead and get your line in. Behold
the green and go.
Okay, every one of them are big. Each and every week from this point on, every one of them are big, and if you can continue to have success and win, the bigger they get. So at the end of the day, we're not, again, just like any other of our process, it's about the process for us around here. It's not necessarily who we're playing. Obviously, we know our opponent. We know the experience that our opponent comes with. We know how well how good of a football team they are, and how good the quarterback is, and big and strong and all those things. We know those things. But at the end of the day, it's still about us. It's about our process of what it takes to make sure we're doing the things on a daily basis to get better, so that our product on a weekly basis is what we want it to be, and making the strides that we want to make. So every one of them are big, and it's just so happened that around here it's homecoming, which is a pretty special time around these parts. But at the end of the day, it's still about the process of what we need to do to continue to grow and be a better football team.
Jay, certainly looking forward to that matchup later today. But let's go to your Cricket Celebration Bowl, power rankings, because you've got Norfolk State as your 3rd best team.
That tells you what a good football team they are. Well, thanks for giving away my power rankings already, Tim. But number 5, Alcorn State. We said at the beginning of the year, although they lost the MEAC SWAC Challenge, you're going to hear from the Braves. Fred McNair has the Braves playing really good football. Number 4, go ahead, Tiff. Rattlers strike, they strike again. Good football team down there in Tallahassee. The defense has improved. That's why they're my number 4 team out there. They've settled at the quarterback position. Willie Simmons started to take over. Number 3, we just saw Dawson Odoms, that quiet confidence they have about themselves. Anytime you've got a quarterback, you've got an opportunity at winning football games. And because Jawan Carter's so special, that's why they're doing it. And keeping up with quarterback play, how about pass? The transfer from Louisville we talked about. Prairie View A&M, the number 2 ranked team in HBCU football. Can they complete the deal? And number 1, they deserve it. Jackson State doing it on the field. They're doing it off the field. They're doing it in the stands. Jackson State is hot right now. Give credit where credit is due. Coach Primetime Sanders has them ranked in the top 25 in all of FCS football.
One dangerous football team we could very well see in Atlanta for that Cricket Celebration Bowl. Now let's take a look at, wait a minute, okay.
I'm going to tell you this. If the Bison win, I'm putting the Bison on that list. They'll be in first place in the MEAC. Oh, yeah, I want the Bison. Don't y'all want the Bison to be ranked top 25? Hey, they can prove it on the field today, though. Don't blame me. They got to prove it.
Last time they won a MEAC championship was when he was at quarterback, 1993. Where'd you go, what? Undefeated that season, 11-0?
Yeah, we don't lose football games when I was here.
Okay.
Me and my boys, we don't lose football games.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the HBCU notables from last weekend. Southern University's Chase Foster, that was a dude, 3 INTs and 4 tackles. That defense playing better under Jason Rollins this season, but he's not the only one. We were down in Orangeburg, South Carolina for homecoming last weekend, and we also saw a dude on defense. His name was Patrick Godbolt, 3 tackles and a blocked field goal. That defense for Buddy Pugh was solid.
Absolutely dominating performance from South Carolina State. Godbolt's that guy that gets off the line of scrimmage. If the defense can match what they're doing offensively, look out for the Bulldogs.
All right, the Ooh La La Showtime Marching Band, they're behind us. We appreciate you sticking with us here on Black College Live. We'll be back with more. Uh-oh, Cali fella, go ahead, Crip, hey, hey, woo, woo, woo.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Behold has a special meaning at Norfolk State University. It exemplifies knowledge, hard work, perseverance, and striving towards success. Since 1935, Spartans have walked these grounds ready to take on the challenges of the times, transform lives, and realize dreams. We are a state-of-the-art institution, preparing students to take on the modern world with innovative coursework, experiential learning, and cutting-edge degrees. As NSU celebrates its 85th year, the green and gold tradition continues.
Fans, come celebrate the heritage, pageantry, and tradition of HBCU football at one of the world's premier venues, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Visit thecelebrationbowl.com for more information. See you in the A this December.
Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Back here on the campus. Oh yeah, they're getting rowdy. The Howard University cheerleaders, thank you so much for joining us.
They need to save some of the energy for the game. The Bison gonna need them once kickoff starts. Y'all you gonna bring that same energy? All right, because behold, the green and gold, they coming. They coming. They got a good football team.
Let's get you caught up on Howard University and all that they have to offer. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Jay. Take it away. This is your spot.
1867, 10,000 strong. Truth and service. Kamala Harris, Nick Cannon, Anthony Anderson, Felicia Rashad, Stan Verrett, Gus Johnson, Chadwick Boseman, Kamala Harris. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Well, you want some politicians there? You want Thurgood Marshall in there?
We're good, actually. We're good, actually.
You want 3 Atlanta mayors?
No, you can
3
stop.
Atlanta mayors there?
It's your time. You know what? That's because you're home. That's because you're home. So we allow you to have, that carte blanche to be able to say.
List, did I?
No.
Should I make it on that list sooner, lady?
Everybody knows Sky around these parts. Meanwhile, there's a guy by the name of Sweetness. Folks knew his name as well. A terrific running back, one of 4 Pro Football Hall of Famers that came out of Jackson State University. Thanks to NFL Films, we'll introduce you to a guy by the name of Walter Sweetness Payton.
It's been said by many people, God decided to make a halfback. He made Walter Payton.
And on October 7th, 1984, Payton was 67 yards shy of football immortality.
Wide to the left. This golf, McKinnon lines up wing to the right. High formation. Quick pitch to Walter. Looking for the record. Touchdown. He's got it. He's got it at the 25 and the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown on his second carry here in the second half. And that's the equivalent to Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record.
When did you start thinking you had a chance to beat Jim Brown's rushing record?
When I first started playing football.
But when Payton started playing football in the NFL, he joined a Bears team that hadn't had a winning season in 8 years.
The Bears were about at the low ebb, and we're kind of losing that, that old the sense of the black and blue Bears. And Walter came along at just the right time.
Chicago Bears, first-round selection. Walter Payton, P-A-Y-T-O-N, running back, Jackson State.
The scouts knew about Walter, but the public didn't know about him. You know, everyone said, who's Walter Payton? Well, he wanted to show people who Walter Payton was.
Walter's first opportunity to show people who he was went horribly wrong. The first-round draft pick managed 0 yards on 8 carries in his debut against the Colts.
After the game, when it came time, I was walking out of the stadium. My wife was with me, and he was walking along right next to us, and he had tears running down his cheeks. I think just out of instinct, she reached out and put her hand on his arm, and she said, "Don't worry, it's going to be better."
From that point on, Walter Payton's confidence would only grow. Payton led the Bears in rushing and would do so for the next 11 seasons. He also set the record for most 100-yard games with 77. Number 34's bruising style wore down defenders. But the Bears' lack of success wore on him.
He never blamed anybody for our lack of success. All he did was try to work harder himself.
I mean, sure, he was a leading rusher after every season, but you had all these losing seasons. So he might have accomplished his goals, his personal goals, but as team goals, gosh, he was far from accomplishing that.
The Bears hired Mike Ditka in 1982, and his ambitions took form immediately.
I believe in a multiple offense, if that's what you're asking. I believe in using different sets. I believe in using some movements. We're going to give them a football team that's going to be a winning football team. It's going to be an interesting football team, and it's going to be a football team that everybody can be very proud of.
Mike brought a lot of discipline to the team, and he really shaped up everybody and said, look, we're going to do it this way, and we have one goal, and the goal is to get to the Super Bowl.
In Ditka's 4th season, the Bears would do just that. Led by Payton's 1,500 yards, the Bears finished 15-1 and barreled into Super Bowl 20 with a chance at greatness.
Hey, this is it. Don't hold nothing back. This is it. Let's play our ass off, okay? Am I ready?
New England's focus was Walter Payton. They said, we're going to stop Walter Payton. I mean, everywhere he went, there was 2 or 3 guys there with him. The one play I remember, the first play of the second half, where we were backed up in the end zone, I faked the ball to Walter, and you can see the whole defensive football team go after him. And I think that's really what hurt the New England Patriots in that game. That was their downfall, worrying so much about Walter, they let everybody else have a pretty good day.
Including William Refrigerator Perry, whose goal line gimmickry stole what many thought should have been Payton's moment of glory.
That was probably the most disturbing thing in my career that bothered me is when, people said, wow, you didn't give the ball to Walter to score in the Super Bowl. If I had one thing to do over again, I would make sure that he took the ball in the end zone.
He'd played for so long and been, he'd been the Chicago Bears for so many years. And to see him not be able to get in that end zone, it had to hurt. I mean, it hurt me not seeing him score a touchdown.
It was a disappointing feeling at that moment. And then it was like, hey, after I realized, exactly what it didn't mean, then it was okay.
Though he didn't score in the Super Bowl, Payton could now add world champion to his list of accomplishments. A list that included 9 Pro Bowls, a league MVP award, and a nickname that captured both the player and the man.
I will never get over the irony and the beautiful bizarre symmetry of his nickname, Sweetness. There's nothing sweet about getting formed in the head. There's nothing sweet about these guys that came up and tried to tackle him and found themselves out cold on the carpet, and there he is 30 yards away. And yet, Sweetness was perfect because something ultimately about Walter Payton was just plain sweet.
Payton left behind a legacy of goodwill and sportsmanship, so much so that the league renamed its Man of the Year award in his honor. A fitting tribute to a man whose heart was bigger than the game.
Walter Payton, the #1 overall pick in 1975, played 13 seasons in the NFL, more than 16,000 career rushing yards. Impressive.
Is that one of the best nicknames of all time?
Absolutely.
Sweetness, and
Absolutely.
shout out to the Payton family, quality folks, and also Jared, good friend of mine down there, former running back, University of Miami. Walter Payton, say no more.
One of the best to ever do it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more, but I think we're joined by the Greek of the Week, Phi Beta
What
Sigma.
y'all got, fellas?
Back to back,
ready?
might I add, Step Show champions. We'll be joined with the Alpha Chapter fellas when we return.
Black College Live is brought to you in part by the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
When was the last time you experienced something different? Dig in to support Black-owned restaurants.
Behold has a special meaning at Norfolk State University. It exemplifies knowledge, hard work, perseverance, and striving towards success. Since 1935, Spartans have walked these grounds ready to take on the challenges of the times, transform lives, and realize dreams. We are a state-of-the-art institution, preparing students to take on the modern world with innovative coursework, experiential learning, and cutting-edge degrees. As NSU celebrates its 85th year, the green and gold tradition continues.
You're watching Black College Live with Tiffany Greene and Jay Walker.
Back here at Howard Homecoming, Jay Walker, Tiffany Greene, thanks so much for joining us here on Black College Live. Now it's time for our Greek of the Week. Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded right here in 1914 on the campus of Howard University. The Alpha Chapter is joining us behind. Yeah, come on.
At
You
Howard,
got to
we
give
got a lot
those.
of Alpha Chapter. That's what we do.
Culture for service and service for humanity. A number of notable alums. When we talked about the two-time back-to-back Step Show champion, they're joining us right now. Sigmas, take it away.
1-9-1-1-4.
Them boys good.
Yeah, you see why they're back-to-back champions, ladies and
Back-to-back
gentlemen.
homecoming champion. Them boys good.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you being here. Meanwhile, we got to talk some more football, right, Jay? We got a football
We're
game
here for the
that
game.
we're covering.
The
Norfolk
party don't
State.
start till the game starts. For the after party.
There you go. There you go. Norfolk State taking on Howard and Jay. When you're taking a look at these two teams, what do you see?
I see Howard University, a team that's led by their quarterback play, and Norfolk State, the same thing. Jawan Carter is a special talent. He could be the Offensive Player of the Year in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. If they allow him to do what he does, Howard's in for a long day. So it's going to come down to which quarterback plays the best football today to see who'll win.
All right, you notice that Coach Chef is not with us today. Jay Martin, he was home back in Alabama. However, he still got in his Rydell Pick of the Week. Coach, who you got?
Hey guys, it's Howard's homecoming, and I'm 5-1. This is a tough one because Howard normally plays with pride up there in D.C. So my Rydell Pick of the Week is the Norfolk State Spartans. Coach Odom really has those guys going.
Uh-oh, Jay, I don't know how you feel. How you feel about that? How you can touch that? Can you touch that? How they feel about that?
He picked Norfolk State. What we feel about that, Bison, folks? He picked Bison. So, we've been joined by Vice President Kamala Harris. Steph Curry, supporter of Bison Golf, is in the building. Anthony Anderson here, all getting it done. So we'll do that. So we'll see. We'll call the action.
Anytime he has a chance to flex, he will do so. Howard homecoming. We got the game coming up on ESPNU later tonight. Norfolk State taking on Howard. We've had a great one here from the Mecca Black College Live. We out.
Black College Live. The Black College Live.
Yeah. This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it. Right now.
I'm all excited. You see that?
Wait until they see the strength and here to win. This Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it.
This is what it's all about.
Overtime on it. Lights out.
I'm gonna put him in the front runner seat to be the Black College Player of the Year.
This ain't for fun. I've been going done. They be